So what I see is a Republican Party taking up a very partisan and adversarial posture against the intel chiefs. And I wonder if Bob Mueller finds that there were connections, contacts between Trump's orbit and the Russians, if the GOP will have been on the wrong side of history.
Well, look, I think I've said it over and over again. I was on a panel with Bernie Sanders, and the bottom line is Republicans shouldn't hide and Democrats shouldn't exploit. And we ought to get to the bottom line. And you have all these committees now that are running around, and they all want to have a hearing now. I understand the way that works. I think the Intelligence Committee in the Senate has been more steady. The House, Adam Schiff, I told him when I talked to him one time that if you are above politics, you'll become a star. But then you have Bob Mueller. And the end of it, let's get to the bottom of it. Let's just figure out what's going on so we can move on. We got so many other things we have to do. Total transparency. The great thing about Mueller is I think, in a short time, he's gained credibility with the American people. And at the end, when everything is said and done, we want people to say, OK, they've investigated it. Here's what they found. Hopefully they'll find nothing because we don't want to have a wounded president. And we'll move on to the other issues. That's kind of the way I see it.
Joel, today the House followed the Senate's lead in issuing subpoenas for, or saying they're going to issue subpoenas for Mike Flynn and his businesses. Where do you think are the Democrats taking this to where the governor says it needs to go, just to revealing all the facts, or do you think they're walking up against the line of being too political?
No, I think they're going after facts. I think, look, it's certainly, I'm a great believer that people have constitutional rights. If Mike Flynn wants to invoke his Fifth Amendment, he's within his rights. But he's been at the epicenter of this for months now. And you talked about Trump and his relationship with Flynn before. We know that Trump remains very loyal to people. You said he's not. Actually, people he likes, he is very loyal to them.
All three of them. Ivanka, Mike Flynn.
He was also told by his mentor, Roy Cohn, to never apologize or admit a mistake. And he doesn't
Even if he committed a crime or new crime?
I think he is not going to throw Mike Flynn under the bus. It would be admitting a mistake and admitting, I think, something that Governor Kasich just made a point about. And I think every Republican and every Democrat should be thinking and speaking the way Governor Kasich just said. This is about America. We need to get to the bottom of this. If Russia is meddling in our elections, if they're meddling in elections in Europe...
Well, they are. We know that they meddled. Right?
Okay,
is that an unknown or a known?
No, I believe it's known, but Trey Gowdy apparently has some suspicions about it.
Then straight out of the gate, after President Trump won the election, he could have said, let's do a full-scale election, let's do a full-scale investigation into what Russia did. He didn't. I mean, lawmakers are also asking Deutsche Bank, the one known global lender to the Trump organization, to see those loan documents, meaning, has Deutsche Bank reassigned those loans maybe to banks in Cyprus, maybe to banks in Russia? If that's the case, it's like, hey, President Trump, don't be so cute here. Just give the information. Wouldn't it be devastating if all of this, if this trust has been lost and maybe the cover-up will end up being worse than the act?
You're a student of political history. Does that happens from time to time, right?
Well, I mean, no politician I know says, here, just let me, give you all the stuff and come investigate me or whatever.
But not about him, but why not?
No, look, here's what I'm saying. Mueller is going to get to the bottom line. He's going to have the power that he needs and the resources he needs to figure this out. I think the Senate Intelligence Committee with Warner and Burr are doing a good job. I mean, and I think at the end, we're kind of going to know where things are. And I don't think things are going to be, I hope they're not going to be swept under the rug, because if we don't get a conclusion that people say, people like you, can say, fair, done, complete, here's what we found, then we're going to continue to be divided. And look, nothing will get done. The health care bill, who knows what's going to happen there? Who knows what's going to happen on taxes? Who knows what's going to happen to the economy? And the last thing we need is more distrust inside of our country.
Elise, do you think anything's going to get done?
That's the question I have for you. I personally don't. I think we're completely paralyzed right now. I think that the news cycle surrounding this Russia probe has completely sucked up all the oxygen. How do you come out and pitch comprehensive tax reform and get anyone to pay attention when there's such crazy news swirling about constantly?
Governor, you spent time
on that. Do you think that we have both houses? We have a Republican president. Do you think we'll have any major legislation this year?
You cannot write major legislation with one party. It doesn't work. Obama tried it. Obamacare's, under fire every day. If the Republicans do it and they do it alone, it isn't going to last. And if you go back to the last time we had tax reform, because this is one of the hardest things to do, there was a really...
Why is it so hard? Because you're picking winners and losers.
You're picking winners and losers, and you have to do it together. So the last time we had tax reform, I think was before you were born. It was in 1986.
I'm deeply flattered.
And
I
don't study this. It was a torturous path. You had to have Packwood. You had to have Bradley. I mean, people don't remember who these folks are.
Sure we
When
do.
President Reagan, the day it was unveiled, when he thanked all the parties involved, it was, I mean, it took a year and a half to get this done. Think about the sheet, the one-pager with 200 words on it that the president and Steve Mnuchin and Gary Cohn put forward last month. Give me a break. That's not comprehensive tax reform. And those hardcore, ardent Trump supporters who stuck with him because they wanted jobs and health care reform, they will turn when those get delivered, do not get delivered in the next.
I got to ask you, will Trump's supporters ever turn? I kept waiting for them to turn to you,
well,
but they didn't.
If they don't get jobs and they're, things are not brightening, then they're going to say, well, I didn't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this is a problem because if people feel that nobody tells them the truth, they're left behind, that nobody cares about them, it's really, really bad for the psychology of the country. So we got to hope that some of this is going to happen, but I'm concerned. Look, I did the budget deal in '97, and if I didn't have a cooperative White House with Bill Clinton, we never would have gotten it done. And when we did it in those days, the economy grew like crazy. People had hope. And
you had 3% growth in the 90s.
That's right.
That's not going to come back anytime soon.
That's why we need to get this done. And I think we need to find out everything as quickly as we can.
On Russia.
Yeah, on the whole, everything that they're looking at.
Russia,
yes,
Flynn.
get it all done and then move on. But it's also going to take the Republican leaders to work with the Democrats and say, let's all get together. Let's try kumbaya a little bit.